Hello, this is Egan on Crap Street Alpha 17. This is a staged attack defense capture point map. The first stage kind of looks like Dust Bowl a little bit on the third stage Dust Bowl. The capture points capture pretty quickly, and once a point is captured, this door opens really slowly, I might add. Blue team then gets access to this hallway, which has direct access to the capture point. And otherwise, while they're waiting for that door to open, they have to push through this outdoor courtyard area, which feels kind of flat and blocky and basic, but that's okay. And then stage 2, I'll get to stage 2 in a bit, but let me just talk about stage 1 for now. So first thing I wanted to talk about stage 1 about was that this door, while it opens up really slowly, the door behind it, this door feels pretty useless for the attacking team. Whenever we were going through this hallway, we actually told our teammates, don't touch the trigger, because if this door opens while we were trying to move through this hallway, somebody on the enemy team would keep the door open, or a sniper would just snipe us, and it was in our best interest to keep this door closed, because it was just too deadly to have the door open. And I guess it's worth confirming, if you go back in and you watch the demo recording of the playtests that happened on this map, did anybody seem to actually find this door useful? Is a question worth asking, because you know it's worth considering that if a feature on your map no one is finding useful, and in fact it's like a trap, you know, it's like a pitfall where if you open this, you're gonna get sniped. Maybe it's worth considering replacing this with just a fence, or like a glass window or something, or maybe a drop down, you know, something where it's less easy to obliterate your teammates by, like, you could just sit here and troll your teammates, and your teammates will never be able to get through here safely. And just that's actually kind of a horrifying idea that somebody could bother doing that. Oh my god, that sounds like nightmarish. Other than that location, stage 1 felt pretty good. Out of 10, I'd probably rate stage 1 like a 7, honestly. The first capture point plays really well. And then, yeah, the second capture point, once this door opens, like here, let me show you. And fire picker open. It's opening right now, viewers. It is opening extremely slowly, but it opens. So it opens slowly. Once blue team is able to get into this hallway, the combat on to the second point feels pretty good. This building across the courtyard kind of felt useless to everybody except for maybe snipers and spies, which, you know, it's maybe fine that they have a building that they can go into, but a lot of other players, like, it was just better to attack the point. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. It felt a little useless. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more open. Like maybe this room is open instead. Like the building top ends here and this is all balcony. So it's a little bit more obvious to players who are attacking how that can be useful. This jump supposedly can be made if I don't suck. Yeah, like if this was a balcony, maybe that'd be more useful. I don't know. This geometry is very basic here. This is all like prisms and stuff. In general, I would say that this is some feedback that carries over from the first point on stage 1 onto the second point on stage 2 through even onto stage 2. Did I say stage 1.2? I'm getting confused here. Onto the second stage as well, that a lot of the map kind of feels like a bunch of you know, perimeters that were set up, like a bunch of flat surfaces, and then you kind of filled it with stuff. It feels very straight on, you know, like here's a straight on thing with a bunch of stuff in it, and a straight on thing with a bunch of stuff in it, and then a straight on thing with a bunch of stuff in it. It doesn't play super poorly, but when you would be considering art passing the map going into possibly Alpha 18 or Beta 1 possibly coming up, you're going to want to consider how you're going to art pass the level. And I think stage 1 I could see it being art passed as, you know, buildings. Like this evidently is probably going to be a bar of some kind. Like, yeah, I could see that. But exactly, it's just like a collection of buildings. And then, like, what is this going to be detailed as? Like, I can't even... This is just a collection of random stuff. Like, this is like a... Maybe like a chimney? Is this based on any reference material? Is this based on any vision you had of what this is going to look like? Just a collection of buildings? What is this going to look like? Like, I can't even think of what this could be. Like, it's like a fence with battlements or something. Like, like maybe a combine shield wall from Half-Life 2, maybe, you know? But, like, I don't know, you know? It's worth considering in the development of your map, of any map, what the final product is going to look like, what you have a vision of the theme when it's art passed. Especially second stage, it's hard to tell what the theme would be. You have a lot of boxes, a lot of stacks of barrels, spools, boxes, barrels, spools, boxes, barrels, spools, and more boxes. That's very generic source engine multiplayer map. It's worth considering that when you detail this, it's hard to imagine what you're going to detail it as, and it's probably worth considering. Like, here's something you could do: is go on to flickr.com, flickr.com, and you can look up like boxes, barrels, factory, and let's say hills or something like that, right? And so it's gonna search a bunch of stuff, and you just search down. All right, like maybe, you know, it's a factory built into a village on a hill, or maybe it's a factory or like a church, or like, you know, maybe it's like a factory built into like a castle. If I'd be like a little less, let's say barrels, factory, hill. All right, that's probably gonna come up with something a little bit better. Got some of these things. Maybe like a farm, or like it's called Crap Street, but I assume Crap Street is like a temporary name, right? I'm just saying that on Flickr you could investigate, let's say, like a hill, farm, equipment, right? That's probably going to come up with some interesting results. Hill, how about hill factory? Hill factory equipment. Right, get some more solid walls going on here. The Volvo factory on a hill, maybe like a mine, or like built into a town or something. You know, maybe some staircases. This is interesting. This is like a building of some kind, like something on the edge of a something here. A building built with a lot of stuff on top. Hills, factories. Yeah, this is cool. This is like a little church or something. It's like an interesting building. It's just, you know, get inspiration, get some vision about what the final product is going to look like, because at the moment it's hard to envision what this is going to look like when you art pass it. Talking about the gameplay of the second stage, the biggest issue with the second stage is that this capture point is kind of just forfeit for the red team. It can be seen from blue spawn. And so a defender who's defending stage 2.1, like, I can't put a sentry gun here. It's just going to be shot by a sniper. I can't even like put it here. It's just going to be, you know, destroyed by the height on top of here. I could maybe put like a mini sentry up here, but again, it could just be destroyed by the sniper. You know, maybe I could put like, you know, a sentry gun here, but it really has no vision of the point. It's just going to be killed by a sniper. I could maybe put like a sentry gun here, but it's just going to be killed immediately by the blue team who has height here, you know? It's hard to tell where I'm supposed to build to defend the point. And so in all the playtests that we had, players just kind of, you know, maybe they put like, you know, a sentry gun here and it sort of defends the area, but it really doesn't. Like, we're just leaving this all to forfeit. And then as soon as this sentry gets destroyed, like, I have no chance to defend this. So I just abandon it and I just leave. And then always the first point on stage 2 got captured within like a minute of the round starting. And you could say, yes, that's my intention, is to have that gameplay. Well, that feels weird. You know, it seems like it's worth considering maybe, you know, it takes 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes for this point to be captured. You know, red team has some ability to reinforce, has some ability to actually stay up here. You know, maybe there's even simply just a fence wall like along here. And so, you know, it's like Snowplow. Snowplow has a capture point where right in front of the capture point is a little wall, you know? So I could build a dispenser here, and my team can actually defend here for more than like 5 seconds, you know? That, you know, maybe they were defending here, and they're like, shit, how the hell am I gonna... Oh, a dispenser, okay. Okay, now I can reload. I can recover that, like, the fire. I still probably have to abandon it at this point, and all of this geometry here, this does not support retreating while keeping vision on the point, right? This is just like cornering yourself and you're gonna die. And then this, you're immediately out of the point area. Like, I wish that when I'm retreating from the point, maybe it goes up a hill and around a corner, and it has a little fence here so I can like kind of defend the point from up here, and they need to, you know, have a sniper shoot us out, or, you know, they need to flank us through the building in order to really rid us of this space so they can claim the territory, right? But right here, it's like, once I leave here, I kind of have to like abandon it, and I can't even really go for this health over here because blue team is coming that way, and they're just coming right through here. Like, this is so easy for blue to come through and just steamroll us, and that's always what happened. The B point on stage 2 relatively feels pretty good. It plays a lot better. It also got captured relatively quickly. I wish that when you're coming out of the spawn point that you had a bit more cover on your approach up to the capture point. The blue team who was up here, they were also struggling for control, but all of the routes that red had coming up to them, they could see. And so you could give no surprises, and as you're on your way up, you're taking fire from like random damage sources, and you're kind of forced to go up in like a suicide route, and you're just like, man, I could just, if I could just get up there and defend like on the control point at all, but you can't. Maybe it's a consideration, maybe you lower the control point a little bit, or if, you know, you designed it intentionally, it is the top of the hill and you can see it from the top of the hill, maybe one of the exits out of spawn is elevated and it has like a fence route, or, you know, maybe there is just a big fence in the way, or there's a tunnel that I can go through and then come up the side, you know, like on Gravel Pit. As you're climbing the ramps on Gravel Pit last up to the point, you can get out of the line of sight, and it's an interesting fight the whole way up. But on this, it kind of seems like all approaches feel the same way, and it kind of felt like every attempt I had was the same attempt, you know? It didn't have a lot of variety. And in general, I think that's a lesson for game design, is that you will want to have a variety of gameplay experiences for players to have when they play your level, your game, anything, you know? And so all these routes going up here all kind of feel the same, so you want to add a bit of variety there. Yeah, I think that stage 1 feels like maybe like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's almost there. I'm not sure how you're going to art pass it, but it's almost there. And then stage 2.1 feels like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. It feels like that needs a little bit of rework. And then stage 2.2, point B, it actually feels like it's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. It was actually a lot of fun. As much as I'm ripping on it, it was fun. It was just hard to defend and hard to hold and hard to have a lot of gameplay experiences on it. But yeah, this is getting close. And then I think at this point, Alpha 17 going into Alpha 18 Beta 1, you could probably art pass stage 1 and get, you know, a hook on what the theme of the map is going to be. Right now it says Crap Street. I assume you're going to rename that to, if you're going to keep chimneys and streets as a theme, you know, maybe again, like go on Flickr and look up like streets, hill, factory, you know, look up stuff like that. And then this is all like trains and stuff. Yeah, this is cool. That's cool. Yeah, look at this. Right? This is not on a hill, but you can combine it with like a road going up into the hill, or like a mountain on the side and a forest on the other. That reminds me of like Hydro, you know, Hydro TF2. Hope nothing embarrassing popped up when I searched that. I didn't see. Like they have on Hydro, they have that one route. It's over on this route, I think. I thought it was like behind here, you know? This route that goes this way, you go around like a cliff and there's like a low route and it's an interesting route and it's like a cool theme. It's worth considering what the theme of the map is going to be when you're designing the map, right? And it's hard to imagine how you're going to make this an interesting standout theme. Yeah, so that's all the feedback I have. I hope that that was interesting. Hope that that was helpful, and good luck with the map. Pretty good so far.